record button, and we are off. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kappa StarCraft 2 League. I am Nathanius, and we have a best of 7 between, well, our two players playing their off race. We've switched their races around, and we've scoured the internet for literally the worst possible maps. If you can think of a map that should never be used in competitive play, we will find it, and we will make these professional players play on it. We will make them play on it. So spawning in the bottom position as the blue Zerg player from Team IVD Gaming, it is puCK. puCK, of course, typically a Protoss player, but now he's playing Zerg in this best of 7. Remember, the winner gets $100, the loser gets 25. And his opponent in the top position, spawning as the yellow Protoss player from Root Gaming. It is someone that would normally be known as a Zerg. It is Petraeus. And if you have not noticed yet, this map is awful. This is a terrible map. And why is it so awful? Well, I mean, you could actually cannon rush really easily in some of these spots. Petraeus is going to open up with a gateway, though. Natural, wide open. Oh, yeah, there's gold minerals in your natural because, well, screw you. Let's look at this little corridor. I didn't even notice that. Oh, that's sick. And I wonder who this map will favor more. Let's zoom out. Let's just get a better look at this map. Oh, wow, there's a backdoor to the natural as well. See that? That will rustle some jimmies. And third base appears to have rocks. Well, I guess you could take the really wide open third base. But that could be difficult. So this is already looking like an interesting map. There was a Reddit post today about worst possible maps ever. And, well, there was no short discussion. It was like a lava-based map was up there. And now there's this one that was also referenced. So puCK taking that expansion pretty quickly. Opened with pool first, just to be safe. And if you guys aren't necessarily familiar with the formula here for Kappa StarLeague, in this best of 7, we make everybody do pretty much horrible things to each other. The maps will get worse and worse as this series goes on, just to make sure that nobody has a fun or fair chance at winning. And really just comes down to who can control themselves best in these crazy situations. So puCK's now taking an additional gas geyser. If you don't know maybe as much about these players, I know for the last Kappa StarLeague we had some pretty well-known guys, or at least tournament champions, San, Tasia, just some of the alumni of the Kappa StarCraft League. Petraeus is an Aussie. He comes from the opposite side of the world. I believe he's currently staying, though, at the Root Gaming house in Antioch, California. So there's no issues of delay coming into play with this best of 7. And puCK is, well, puCK's an American. And I believe puCK lives in North Dakota. So, you know, of course, still no lag issues on this end. puCK recently played in Intel Extreme Masters, Sao Paulo. He qualified in the American bracket, of course. He was able to get himself basically a paid trip to go over there and compete. Didn't have any crazy results, but, you know, put his best foot forward. And Petraeus doesn't really have quite the results just yet, but one of the newer additions, really, to Root Gaming. So these are guys you should check out. Their Twitters, at Root Petraeus and at puCK-SC2. Definitely some guys you can check out. And they're playing here in the Kappa StarCraft League. These guys know it's all about just having fun. It's New Zealand. I've been educated. He's actually from New Zealand. And you can see, as an ignorant American, I do not understand the difference between anything that is south of the North Hemisphere. But Petraeus is doing a little bit of stalker harass. I like this. He could actually, I mean, if you get an observer, you can attack the main base mineral line from the low ground, which is pretty dirty. You can see you want to try to drone stack onto these gold mineral patches if you can. Oop, Petraeus, the stalker, getting shoved back. And puCK's just going to put up a spine crawler. Not too shabby. Getting the drones up there as well. And we have a Roach Warren on the way for puCK. So puCK's actually going for a pretty standard setup. He hasn't taken a really fast third base, mostly because this gateway expand from Petraeus. The Mothership Core is coming over, doing a little poking now. But without the support of these two stalkers, Mothership Core can't really do much just yet. And that's one of the nice things about this spine crawler that puCK's built. It'll allow him to cover, keep himself safe. And Petraeus, Warp Gate is done. He has three Warp Gates and 1 Stargate in production, as we said. Not really much of a wall just yet, though. So if puCK decides to get aggressive, could have a little bit of trouble holding on. puCK is actually focusing on taking this third base, though, destroying the rocks. And I don't think that's a bad that idea, especially considering that that's where your backdoor leads anyway. Not bad to try to either block that off or take it early on to get the creep spread. And Petraeus, he's just happily mining away. Oh yeah, did I mention the natural expansion gas is, well, I actually think it's just it's 6 gas per trip. So this is an advanced geyser. You get a lot of extra gas from the natural gas geyser. Just another way that this map is broken. There's rich Vespine geysers at the natural with those gold mineral patches. First Phoenix is out for Petraeus. He's going to try to pick off some of these overlords. And of course, as you guys all know, we start pretty slow here in Kappa StarLeague. But Petraeus is now just going to try to block off the back door with his zealots. He has the 2 stalkers in this sentry to cover the entrance to the natural. puCK's lair is completing relatively soon. And of course, if you guys like the Kappa StarLeague, well, just keep watching it. That's really all we ask of you. It's a pretty rollicking good time. Even the outer bases, there's still more of these gold and rich Vespine geyser hybrid bases all over the place. Petraeus is taking a pretty bold 3rd base. This map isn't really too big, but the position of the main base ramp does mean it can take a little while to move around the main. Which means I feel like this map's actually pretty good for Blink Stalker type builds. What else? Warp Prisms, I guess. puCK is bringing some roaches up front. Petraeus, ooh, the sentry gets sniped. Picks off one roach. But puCK, I think you trade a roach for a sentry. Not too bad. Petraeus has a Void Ray in production, though, to help defend this 3rd base. Stalker takes a little bit of heat. Hydralistan is on the way. And puCK is just keeping himself safe. He's keeping all the doors open. He knows about the Stargate, so... Hydralisk. See, you can kind of assume that Void Rays might be on the menu soon. He has not yet. Oh, actually, his Overlord spotted this 3rd base building. Wow, I'm surprised that Overlord can see it. It's really close. That's almost like Mothership Core vision right there. I didn't know he could see that. It's damn good. Damn good. And Phoenix coming up. puCK's roaches are trying to squeeze away. Running as much as humanly possible. I guess as roachily possible, really. It's kind of wrong to say humanly possible. They're not humans. They probably take offense to that now that I think about it. 3rd base is done for puCK. No drones there just yet. He's actually going to put out some Zerglings, some Hydralisks. Hydralisk attack range is coming in. And of course, the nice thing about this is you need less supply to mine this gas, so puCK can invest his supply elsewhere than all them geysers, because he also has the accelerated geyser at the 3rd base. But Petraeus, by taking this space, of course, he doesn't have access to that rich Vespine geyser, so he'll need to build 2 simulators. He'll need to slack on tons of probes to mine this gas. Not like it's really a big deal anyway. Like, honestly, who cares? It's just an assimilator, right? It's not going to get under anybody's skin. Roach Speed's about to finish up, and puCK actually has a pretty solid setup. Petraeus now. Warp Prism is on the way. Robotics Bay is coming in. And Petraeus seems to have a pretty solid grip on how to play Protoss. Actually, puCK is playing pretty well. puCK was worried before this match started. He's kind of talking about, well, hey, I'm not really an off-racer. And Petraeus is level 100. He is level 100, which means he has played some of each race. I think you can only go up to level 35 with one race. So he has to have at least level 20 or something like that with... Actually, he is probably just like level 30 or level 32 with Protoss, so he's played a reasonable amount as each race. But puCK now is trying to attack this 30. He's actually taking off a lot of health. Does need to be careful. The Mothership Core is here. A couple Time Orbs could spell doom and gloom. Photon Overcharge is activated. And at the same time, Petraeus doing some scouting with Hallucinated Phoenix, and Warp Prism coming in for the root player towards puCK's natural expansion. This Queen, oh, he doesn't see it. Wow, there's actually this little back alley place. Well, that's just weird. You could probably warp units in and bring them up to the high ground. You might see Petraeus do that. You can hide a Colossus over there as well. And, well, that doesn't really kill anything. puCK with a big... Oh, well... He has a little supply block, but a big, huge army sitting outside of this 3rd base area. And Petraeus has to be careful because moving between his natural and his 3rd leaves him super exposed. And puCK wants to abuse this. He's trying to move in this incredibly open space. This is really hard for Protoss to deal with, but some good force fields. Well, almost good. I think he needed one more to lock the rest of the Zerglings in. Still kills a lot of them. But now his Colossus is out, and another Void Ray gets insta-killed by puCK. Good catch. Man, this map is awful. The distance between the 3rd and the natural is so huge. I do think this base was meant to be a 4th, but that's the beauty of Kappa StarLeagues. That, I mean, Petraeus has no idea what the fuck he's doing. Zealot warp in towards the natural. he's bringing the Zealots in. He does have +1 attack, but puCK already has the Carapace upgrade, so the Zerglings, they handle themselves well in fisticuffs. And the other cool thing to consider is that the natural base will mine out kind of quickly because they are gold minerals. There are gold mineral patches there, so it's not like it's the greatest thing ever for sustainable economy, but it is good for, you know, like give a little shot of adrenaline, as it were. Zerglings try to run by into the natural. There is a Colossus here for Petraeus. And puCK, where will he go next? +2 attack is on the way. Petraeus is, yeah, he's just getting blink. Still moving into the Colossi. He's continuing to produce them. And he does have extended thermal lance about to finish up. This is a pretty standard Protoss gateway ball. And this is not bad versus what puCK has if he uses good force fields. And of course the Colossi get good spreads. But the Colossus count is pretty low. Just 1. He's leaving. Actually, his next Colossus isn't even out yet. But puCK's just going to try to dive on this third base. Very low. The Zergling's trying to finish it off while the rest of the army escapes. And he does. Nice maneuver. The force fields were not enough to save that Nexus. And Petraeus is like a little bit of an oh shit moment. But puCK doesn't really care. The Hydralisks have that speed upgrade, so they can dance if they want to. And Petraeus decides, all right, you know what? This is probably a good time to attack anyway. I'm getting close to maxing out. The Hydras wait for him, though. Grab all the Phoenix quite quickly. And with just 1 Colossus, he's going to have a really hard time fighting this. The Stalker is trying to retreat. Blink is not done yet. He's still 20 seconds away. Petraeus, he needs to be so careful. This ramp is a sweet spot. Look at puCK's army spread. He is inviting Petraeus over for dinner. He has extended that offer. He's given him that bowl of sugar, and he's like, you got to bring it back. You have to bring back that bowl now. I need it. It's my grandma's, and you can come right up this ramp where I can kill you. But Petraeus says no. Hold on to it for a little bit longer. As these roaches come try to snipe this Nexus, they will not be able to. And Petraeus, he is, well, he's still close to maxing. He still has a strong army, but now the Vipers are coming out of the field. puCK needs to be wary of this Warp Prism returning to the natural expansion. puCK's had his 3rd untouched the whole game. puCK's had his 4th base untouched the whole game. And Petraeus really hasn't been able to kill many drones. Petraeus has killed a total of 3 workers. Another macro hatchery starting for puCK. And here we go. Zealot Warp in 4 of them. Into puCK's natural expansion. No charge, +1 armor. Couple roaches getting fed by puCK to Petraeus. But with these Vipers on the map now, puCK can go for the abducts, try to, well, you know, wreck the Protoss army of Petraeus with those abducts. Maybe even use the Blinding Cloud. Not quite as common, though. And Templar Archives is on the way, so Petraeus is saying, yeah, you know what? I think feedbacks might work. Petraeus would not be wrong, but the feedbacks, they can be pretty difficult to acquire on that on the Viper count of the Zerg player. So let's see what he can do here. Petraeus is just gonna try to get a 4th base while puCK takes his 5th. And puCK, just now starting to run out of some of these mineral patches, is starting to move them over to his fresh base. Although taking the next base with the gold will be pretty nice, especially with the advanced gas geyser. And we can see it's actually as far along as the main gas for Petraeus because of how fast you mine it. Does deny the next gold base from puCK. And puCK's actually going to try to swing around this army. He's got a good spread and only needs a few abducts. And this could spell doom and gloom. Grabs the Mothership Core and pulls that in. Hydralisks take care of that, no problem. Pulls in 1 Colossus, 2 Colossus. And oh man, Petraeus is losing his big powerful units. Last Colossus gets abducted. And it's just a couple of Void Rays to really add in the meat with these Immortals. And by that I mean just 1 Immortal. puCK trying to move through. Good force fields are holding him back for now. But puCK insta-remaxing 24 roaches, 18 Zerglings, a Spire on the way, just Stalkers being warped in for Petraeus, and Hydras and Roaches deal quite well with these, but does pick off the Vipers, not bad. But how much more does puCK really need to abduct? He can just fight this army head-on, killing some Stalkers that are trying to rally and reinforce that army. Petraeus loses quite a bit, and he will have to retreat. 6 Mutalisks on the production tab is puCK's way of saying, yep, I feel like a big weakness of yours will be dealing with air harass. Especially since, while you may have many Stalkers, you don't have anything to actually fight my main army, so I can attack you while switching into Mutalisks. Not the best, most timely Muta switch ever seen, since he didn't lose most of his army, but puCK is continuing to attack. And it's actually Petraeus getting a couple of good shots off. But as the Colossus finally shows up, so do the Mutalisks. And they are distracting these Stalkers from the Roaches and Hydralisks below. And all he needs to do is kill this Colossus, and this army will die faster than, well, many things that we've seen before. puCK moving in and actually not even focusing that Colossus, just remaxing on Zerglings, or I guess attempting to remax. He has lost the majority of his forces here. That Colossus was allowed to do a lot of work. 9 kills, and those are Roaches and Hydras. Pretty good, since Petraeus still has his 4th base. So puCK maybe overextending himself. Both players drop below 100 supply. puCK has a lot of money and no larva to use it. Starting to realize this is the difficulty of playing Zerg. You run out of that larva so quickly. More Mutalisks on the way, 8 of them. Petraeus is continuing to build Void Rays. The Zerglings swarm over that 4th. He has the Mothership Core, but it's not going to be enough to defend against this. Petraeus is moving his Colossus over. He's trying to defend. He has +2 attack, +3 on the way. And puCK retreats after killing off a lot of probes, but Zerglings run over to the left base. Some High Templar getting chewed away at before the Photon Cannons finish up. And let's see. puCK is just trying to raise the Mutalisk count. He's at 9, 8 more on the way. There's very little anti-air remaining in this force. Just 4 Stalkers and 2 Void Rays and 4 Sentries. Not really a good match versus Mutalisks. As puCK's Zerglings chew away at this Zealot. This is a Zealot 2-shotting them. Does pretty well. Oop, couple Templar caught in the middle. puCK snipes, well, attempts to snipe. Good timing on the merge into Archon, as that Mutalisk just flies into doom and gloom in order to try to scout what's happening. And the Zerglings come in. The army's in pulled out of position. puCK is just going to go for this Nexus. Will be able to snipe that. Petraeus is bringing his army back, but he's being hit at the 3rd base at the same time by the Zergling Mutalisk hit squad. 1 Photon Cannon remains to defend. He's bringing in a couple of Templar. Wants to... Well, he can't use the feedback. He needs a 2nd Templar in this situation, but it's not enough. Mutalisks actually hit the natural mineral line at the same time. Petraeus is going for the counterattack. He wants to attempt a base trade, and puCK, desperately trying to get the larva out so that he can continue to produce these units, is still being hit in the that 3rd base. The Mutalisk's driven back for now. But what remains here to defend? puCK actually just building Zerglings and Mutas. Gonna have a tough time versus this setup. He's just going. He's committing to this base race himself. Hitting this 3rd. Petraeus is warping into everything at home that he can to defend. He's picked off puCK's 4th base. The Colossi can actually just walk into the main. There are some Zerglings waiting here, but he's going to ball everything up and recall back to the 3rd. And puCK, well, does he have enough air units to actually kill this off? There is an Archon. He snipes it. Nice grab there. That's the majority of the anti-air. More Stalkers being warped in. Gets a Void Ray. puCK still has about 7 Mutalisks fighting, and a couple of good shots will clean these up. This game has gotten a lot closer than I thought it would. The Natural's mined out for puCK. His 3rd base, running a bit dry on money as well. Does have a 5th base secured out here and a 6th base on the right side, but he needs to get drones there. puCK only has 39 of them. His Mutalisk's being killed, and here you see 12 drones. What puCK needs right now is time, and as he sends more Zealots into Petraeus' base, this is what he's hoping to do. Time is what he's hoping to buy with these units. The Mutalisks are headed to the main base as well. Maybe pick off some of the pylons running this production. And all puCK really needs is for Petraeus not to attack him right now, because this army for Petraeus could steamroll everything that puCK has right now, especially since he does have an Archon mixed in here with +3 attack. I mean, Mutalisks won't do anything versus this. So puCK, he's at that base on the right side. The base on the left will be destroyed by Petraeus, and puCK immediately goes for the counterattack, saying, no, you have to come here and defend your base. But Zealot Warpins might be enough. Oh, there's some Roaches. puCK does have +3 attack on these Roaches, so the Zealots die quite quickly. Another recall is used, and puCK buys himself another minute or so. The Mutas are still running rampant in the main base. He's unpowered a couple gateways. puCK's just trying to unpower all of the tech. He recognizes that Petraeus will not be able to reinforce back home with his bare bones economy if he doesn't have his production. Only 3 gateways powered right now, and the Stalkers blink back will kill a Mutalisk. puCK needs to be very careful. He's still pretty broke himself, but now that he's starting to mine on this right side base, he's bringing it back, and Petraeus is going for that next level attack. See, this is the cool thing about Kappa StarLeague, man. You don't have any shitty, awful Swarm Host games, at least not yet. puCK would never sink to that level, I pray. And now moving in towards the left side. And there's still Mutalisks in the air for puCK. It was back and forth ragtag game. And Petraeus' army is still really powerful. An Archon with a couple of sentries and the option for Guardian Shield makes Mutalisk still not necessarily the greatest thing ever versus it. He's just trying to harass at the Mutas, and that's why all the Stalkers are back home. But Petraeus needs to watch how far he extends. He doesn't have enough energy for a recall. He's just going to hallucinate some Colossi to potentially draw fire. And puCK is going to lose that natural expansion. He's got a reasonable amount of larvae now, but does he have the army? Yeah, he's bringing the mutas. The sentries and Archon are attacking the... Well, actually kills the mothership, of course. There's no chance to recall, and he's killing the real Colossus. I don't think he has detection anymore. But, you know, the hallucinated Colossi will die very quickly anyway. I think puCK's just going to realize, yeah, they're probably hallucinated. The Stalkers are coming over for Petraeus, though. puCK needs to kill this Colossus before the Zerglings come out. The Colossus one-shots packs of Zerglings, and the Mutas are focusing on it. The Stalkers are not there just yet. The Zerglings are out. There is the Archon as well, but once this Colossus is dead, the Zerglings can try to fight against the Stalkers, and they won't be too bad, but this game has really come down to the wire. There's a huge army supply lead for Petraeus, and he's just sitting inside puCK's base, going to town on the tech, and I think puCK recognizes that he can't really defeat this army just yet. He needs to be careful, maybe try to hit the counter, and that's exactly what he's doing. Mutalisk's headed back towards Petraeus' base. There are 5 Stalkers awaiting him, though, and puCK is in a rough spot. He has that mining base on the right side, tried to engage some of these Stalkers. The Zerglings are actually giving chase. He has the Mutalisks with them to complement. Blinking back is Petraeus. He's kept a lot of these Stalkers alive, and he will clean up the Mutalisks as puCK continues to mine this left side base, trying to rebuild his Hydralisk Den at the right side base. And these Mutalisks, they're out for blood. There's still a few Zerglings that can help fight. And look at this, is a good way to abuse this map by Petraeus, jumping straight into the main base from that 4th position. The Spire is about to fall, and puCK, he's got a couple of dimes left. Still has that right side base, and the most important thing about this base is that there's money here, and it's also secured this base. These couple gold patches could be the difference between puCK winning and losing this game. As the Hydra then is killed, there's a few drones and Zerglings just hiding for their little lives, and they will all die without killing any of these units. Maybe a Zealot. Nah, not even that. Petraeus is rebuilding the base on the right side, and if he gets this, puCK's actually built a hatchery at Petraeus' rocked-off base. That is not something that we would see every day, but he is going to try to move some of these units back. This Archon's the big problem, though. He has moved these... Wow. Actually, moving these spines to the bottom of the ramp is really nice for puCK. He's going to force Petraeus to engage with at least the Archons and the Sentries. The Stalkers could blink out, but if he picks off the rest of these expensive units, I think Petraeus might be boned here. He can get rid of the Stalkers, but those are not going to win the fight versus the Zerglings. Another wave of Stalkers is coming up. Petraeus' Nexus is going to complete soon, and I don't think puCK's creep has spotted this. But the Stalkers are attacking that left side base. A new mothership core. Oh, Petraeus is just sending in his helicopter to get everything out with. As long as this mothership core gets to the army, he can recall it out of there. And with that, I think puCK, his chances are slowly decreasing. The mothership core has joined with the army, and he is just going to recall back to his next base and defend it. puCK does not know about Petraeus' expansion. He's moved all of his probes here, and puCK long distance mining this north base, trying to rebuild his spawning pool. He's checking, and I think he realizes, you sent another mothership core. puCK's army is not terrible, but with the Archon in this mix, this Archon has 42 kills. Holy shit. That is... This guy, a motherfucking beast Archon right here. I don't know. I don't know what to call him. Let's just call him Rick. Yeah, Rick. I haven't called a unit Rick before. I don't know if that's really an Archon name, but Petraeus is about to find the last real mining base of puCK. Well, I guess he does have technically 2 bases, but these drones will have to evacuate. And Petraeus will snipe this off. puCK needs to get out some more units, and I think this Colossus could end the game. Petraeus is building one more. The Mutas are trying to give chase with the Zergling support. Does defend this hatchery for now. And puCK's really oversaturated on the space. He's starting up spine crawlers. But I don't know what you do in this situation. He does have an infestation pit. This might actually be a situation where swarm hosts would be awesome if you could afford them. But Mutas are running towards the left side. And there is, this is most of the gas income for Petraeus. But one Colossus can kill so many Zerglings and Hydralisks with this many Stalkers to support. I'm actually surprised that puCK's climbed higher in supply than his opponent. I know Zerg production, but still, he was really fishing for pennies before. And this hatchery will be picked off along with the drones occupying it. Try to escape, and puCK has one last base to defend. I guess he still has this base up north, which feels awkward, but he's building some spine crawlers. puCK's going for the Great Wall of Spines. But with a second Colossus coming in and that +3 attack, Petraeus is still in a fantastic position to completely eradicate this Zerg force. puCK, Mutalisks attack them in the mineral line. I feel like if puCK had found an opportunity to attack this base when Petraeus' army was locked inside of his old main, maybe he would have had a better chance. Oh, this Colossus, he is attempting to deny the second Colossus. It would be a huge victory, but unfortunately, it's not meant to be. And puCK, Zergling Hydralisk. It's not bad. He has an Infestor on the way out. I still feel that Swarm Hosts would give him a better return, but Mutalisks run in towards the left side. He's grabbing a couple more probes. That's nice, you know, deny some of the gas income for Petraeus. He does have a lot of gas banked up, and the reason that gas is going to be nice for him is the next Templar Archives. I think you get a couple Archons, and there is absolutely no way that puCK should be able to win a head-to-head engagement. puCK just has to rely on using his one base economy to outmine his opponent's one base economy and stay far enough ahead on supply that he can just hope for a really, really good engagement and keep these Mutalisks harassing. puCK's looking around. He's like, okay, what do I attack? This robotics facility is a huge threat. The potential for Colossus is monstrous. We actually have Phoenix production by Petraeus. He's blinking his Stalkers back, trying to defend this base, defend his pylons. And I don't think he should be able to get this. puCK needs to be careful how far back he leads Petraeus, though, because these rocks are here. I almost wish puCK would attack that with his Mutalisk so that he could maybe get closer. He's long distance mining the extra gas. This is a enhanced Vespene Geyser. And puCK's still dancing around these Mutas. He's buying himself time. There we go. Swarm Hosts coming out for puCK. Now he can put on a little bit more harass. And puCK's starting to bank a decent chunk of change. So puCK's production is going to explode just from having this long-distance mining base. I love that this says you only need 6 to be saturated. Who the fuck decided that 6 drones when you're twice as far away is efficient? I actually have no idea what that's supposed to mean. But 3 Phoenix are fighting these Mutas. He's picking a couple of them off. And it's hard actually to micro Phoenix versus Mutas. So he will lose 1 Phoenix. He's trading well. But all he needs to do is keep some of the Mutas alive. And he gets, another good volley. And puCK swoops back in. He's really close to killing off these Phoenix. If he could kill these Phoenix, that would be a huge win because Petraeus can't really use these in a real fight. So puCK is just dancing around. 4 more Swarm Hosts are coming out. He's taking a base on the left side. And he is still mining healthily here. Petraeus actually needs another base. I think the amount of available resources is eventually going to help puCK too much. But Petraeus will have a little while before that base mines out. puCK is actually starting to mine this base out. He could, I guess all he can really do is fall back on this base on the left side. The Phoenix with the Stalker support will clean up the last of the Mutalisks. Still 4, and that's actually still enough, but puCK needs to get these onto the Phoenix if he wants to have any chance. Enduring Locust upgrade is coming in, so that will give these Swarm Hosts a bit more sustainability. How many Swarm Hosts are on the map? A total of 6. The 6 is actually not bad. Versus 2 Colossi, pushing into this could still be hard because of the Zergling Hydralisk backbone, but puCK's base has been scouted by Petraeus, and what? Oh, well, he forced the first cancel, but puCK will have to cancel this again. Petraeus is not going to allow him to take this base, and Petraeus, what base will he attempt to take? There's still the base behind his main, but puCK is actually really starting to chew away at this. He hasn't noticed Petraeus that there's creep behind here yet. Maybe he thinks it was an Overlord blocking. And wow, look at this. What a beautiful little mining operation we've got going on here. Much drone. The Locusts begin to chew away. And look at that. Oh, yeah. This is when them free units become so good. puCK will have to retreat behind the Great Wall of Spinecrawler. I think a little creep spread here would not be amiss. The wave of Locusts is going in. Petraeus is actually just going to try to kill off the rest of what puCK has, or is he going to attack him? He doesn't know about the Infestation Pit. And the Locusts, if the Locusts kill anything, that's huge for puCK. He's ahead in supply, but barely. He does have a couple of Infestors at full energy. Needs to watch actually a really good fungal. Holding any of these units in place and being able to grab them with a Locust is huge. And at the same time, where is Petraeus going here? +2 armor is on the way. It's okay, not a huge deal. Locusts deal damage so fast, armor upgrades don't really affect them. But I guess if you already have all the attack upgrades, gotta do something with your money. Another robotics facility is coming in. So Petraeus suddenly realizing, yeah, I do need Colossi. Oh, look at this. Man, I knew this map was horrible for a reason. You can actually hit this mineral line from afar. Makes life a bit hard. puCK has to watch out. He's got Zerglings coming in from the back. Could lose them. Oh, he's actually counterattacking to this base in the top left. Can deny some gas mining. Not bad. And puCK, well, the Zealots still have the upgrade advantage, and they can fight quite easily versus the Zerglings. But even squeezing a few Hydras here is really nice. The Zealots don't stand a chance especially without charge. Petraeus never got charge for his Zealots. So, actually did. Why does it show that the Zealots can't charge? For some reason, it shows they can't charge. I'm just blind. It wasn't active on the toolbar. But, puCK is starting to pull this game back. He has 5 more Swarm Hosts on the way. And this base going unscouted. Fuck, man. This is... Yeah, that's all he really needs. And we have Storm on the way, which could help him push through a wave of Locusts. But puCK has learned what all good Zergs know. When you're behind, you just need, I don't know, man. You need some free units. Because this map actually doesn't have that many bases on it. There are 3, I guess technically puCK mined a little bit out of this base. There's only like 2 virgin bases on the map. The one on the left center and the right center. puCK took the right center base, but there's still lots of money left here. 1 mineral patch barely touched at all. So now Petraeus realizes it, and he's like, you motherfucker, you've been mining here for quite a while. And puCK's immediately like, all right, let's get the drones. Go, go, go. I can't afford to lose all these workers. Stalkers are going to attack. But the Hydra's coming up here with the Locust Wave. Ooh, almost sniping that Nexus. That would have been a huge victory for puCK. And these drones, man, they are cowering in fear. He's going to mineral walk them into the natural. Petraeus actually still has a couple of dimes he could fish for here. Locust continuing to fight. Kill an Archon. Very nice. And puCK's going to try to take this base on the left side. The Locust attack from one direction, and the army waits on the other. So this is not bad. puCK's still having a hard time. All these drones walking into the barbecue. Youch. The feels... Oh, man. That hurts to watch. And I play Protoss. But, the waves of Locusts are strong. He has that +3 attack, so they kill shit fast. 15 damage every 0.8 seconds. All the Infestors walk forward, gets feedback, throws a fungal, but the next wave of Locusts isn't ready yet, so the Archons should be able to escape without too much trouble. And here comes that next wave of Locusts. Oh, puCK's actually positioning his Locust defensively so that Petraeus cannot kill the wave and then attack. That's cute. It's actually adorable. But Petraeus is just going to take this base. And I think if Petraeus gets this, he should be able to build the army he needs to defeat puCK. But, wow, he's going to attack the other side. puCK needs to move his Swarm Host. His next wave of Locusts came out. He has to wait a little while before they go off of cooldown. And, oh, boy, we got 7 seconds. This wave of Locusts is moving in. A couple of these Swarm Hosts are timed differently than each other. They're rallied to multiple different locations. And puCK can still use these to actually attack that base in the right side. He really needs to kill that Nexus more than almost anything in this game because this base is going to mine out soon. He doesn't need to defend this position aside from having buildings on the map. puCK does have to get some drones over to that left side base, though. And that Nexus, man, Locust with +3 attack, he kills it. Petraeus does not have money to be throwing at Nexus production. That's not what you want to do, man. He's not a Nexus builder. He's a Protoss. He's a Zerg player trying to play Protoss. And puCK's just a Protoss player using the most annoying unit you ever see from Zerg. Catching him here. He's found a nice little choke point to tuck himself into at night. There are a lot of spines here, though, so you can't push right through it. We'll kill this hatchery. Not that puCK can really use the larva. He's kind of broke. And puCK's just going to, he's going to try to just kill off the only mining base of Petraeus. This is not bad. And this probe will not be able to place a Nexus. Petraeus is going to try to attack him. But the Locusts are all here from the Swarm Host. puCK has taken a huge supply lead. And now, the only mining base for Petraeus is gone. Oh, recalls. And puCK's army needs to get out of there. He snipes the Nexus and he's going to run. Oh, some big hits on the big storms. Actually end up hurting the Stalkers more. The Hydras escape. Mutas duck around. He's like, oh, goodbye, Phoenix. No chasing for you. And these Swarm Hosts, he needs a couple seconds for the next wave, and they are ready. Next wave of Locust will push this army back. Throws the fungal, misses. puCK's next mining base. puCK's his only mining base. There's nothing here but a few nickels. Will get sniped as well, but puCK does have the more cost-effective army because his army can die and come back to fight again. He's got the zombie army. Petraeus long-distance mining with his probes to his cracked out fourth. And Locusts are trying to squeeze through. Having a little bit of difficulty. Zealots charging forward. Oh, Storm's on the Swarm Hosts. This is exactly what he needs. He does have observers. He can see the Swarm Hosts. If he punches through, he can pick them off. Oh, first couple of Swarm Hosts are starting to die. There's still a lot of Swarm Hosts on the map. About 15 of them. And he blinks forward. The Swarmhosts are trying to retreat. This could be it for puCK. Petraeus taking a fantastic engagement has pushed puCK back to the limit. And he is just focusing down these Swarmhosts. He knows it's all that puCK has. The Locusts are chewing through, though. Archon will die. A couple Stalkers dying. There's still Spine Crawlers behind this, but the Colossi are shaving off Swarmhosts. puCK only has 4 Swarmhosts remaining behind the Spines. He's pulling the drones, trying to buy himself just a few more seconds, waiting for that next wave of Locusts, and here they are, starting to kill nothing, really. There's not enough Locusts. Those Colossi, there's just too many of them, and puCK seems to have, well, met his match in this game. A few more storms will drop. Zerglings come in from the back trying to snipe a Colossus, but it's no good. That +2 armor is too much. GG. puCK taps out, and Petraeus takes game number 1. We had a 50-minute game in our first map tonight here at the Kappa StarLeague, and I'll be damned if I don't say that was a pretty fucking good game, actually. That was a lot better quality of a game than I was expecting from both of them. But it was good. That was pretty good. All right, so let's see the next map. I asked the Redditor that talked about that really horrible map he made to upload it onto BNet if he could. And all right, he has published it. So let's find it. It is Kappa, something like that. Ah, yes. Let's see. Is this that horrible map? Awesome. Awesome. Let me just make sure this map isn't too similar to the one that we just played. No. Excellent. So this would be a map that is slightly more Zerg favored than before. Awesome. All we need are worse maps. The worse maps, the better. You guys are watching the Kappa StarLeague, and I hope you're having a good night. Hope you're having some fun here as we prepare. That game was better than I thought it would be. I was not anticipating that game to be that. Yeah, I don't know. Is it possible to play this game in 2v2? Let's see. Let's see if this map even works in 1 versus 1. I don't know how this map works. I don't think it might not have been published properly because I can't set 2 teams. Let's see here. Yeah, alright. I guess? Fuck. Alright, I guess. Oh, man, that is unfortunate. Alright, so I guess the guy that made it didn't realize we're missing one of the teams. One of the teams isn't here. It's actually 1-player map right now. Another map then. You survive this round. Alright, so wow, that's unfortunate. I had to move that horrible map there, and the map just wasn't working. Okay, so let's see here. What's a horrible map that we could play on now? Something that's still I would still want a bad map, and Blizzard maps are the best place to look for horrible maps. You know, I'm just throwing that out there. So let's see. Let's play on Core Hall Compound. Yeah, let's do that. Core Hall Compound should be a good map. All right. Let's get our players in here. Petraeus and puCK. So Petraeus is currently up 1-0 in this best of 7. And all right, let's do this. We're ready to go. Players are in the lobby. Game number 2, Kappa StarLeague, is about to begin.